So, I'm not married to this idea, but Motion analyzed more than $100 million in ad spend for its 2025 creative trends and found that 42% of the top spending social ads were lo-fi. And interestingly, Motion's 2026 creative trends are still pointing in the same direction. More human, lo-fi, phone shot creative. So, why are these ads working? Well, because advertising has spent decades trying to make things look better, and now some of the ads getting the most attention look like they were made in Canva at 2 a.m. by me. Bad lighting, weird fonts, captions slapped over the top, someone filming themselves in the kitchen, and somehow they work. And I think there's a pretty simple and obvious reason. We don't notice things that look like everything else. Think about your TikTok feed. Beautiful product shot, and then another beautiful product shot, and then suddenly, guys, I think I f***ed up. This happens on LinkedIn too. Everyone's posting AI slop long posts, and then someone just says some silly one-liner and it gets 1,000 likes. Maybe it's because it's different, right? There's actually a psychological principle called the von Restorff, I think is how it's pronounced, effect, which basically says that when something stands out from everything around it, we're more likely to notice and remember it. I mean, kind of like obvious, right? Duh. And brands have started weaponizing this. I'm sure you guys have seen K18's latest campaign. They took a giant ball of human hair and rolled it through New York City. It's called tumble hair. It's 10 feet tall and it represents the enormous amount of hair New Yorkers collectively shed. Yes, someone actually looked at a hair care brief and said, what if we made a giant fucking hairball? And someone else said, do it. And now it's rolling through Manhattan and you don't need to explain the campaign. You don't necessarily need to see the logo. You don't even need bright, shiny, unattainable hair. You see a 10-foot ball of hair rolling down the street and immediately think, what the f*** is that? And that's the point. K18 didn't win attention by making something prettier. They made something strange enough that the city became the media. People stop, they stare, they film it, they send it to their friends, they post it, and suddenly the audience is doing the distribution for you. And that's the bigger lesson. Distinctiveness doesn't necessarily mean ugly. It doesn't have to mean ugly. It can mean weird. It can mean unexpected. It can mean taking something your category would normally put in a beautiful product shot and rolling it down the street. But here's the problem. We're living through the most connected period in human history. We're connected all day. We wake up and check our phones. We consume hundreds of pieces of content every day. What's your screen time? Confess. Anyway, what I'm trying to say is that we've never had more attention available. But here's the paradox, right? We've never had less genuine attention to give, because seeing something isn't the same as paying attention to it. A thumb stopping for half a second isn't attention, okay? Let's be real. Genuine attention is when something makes you stop, think, feel, remember, talk, or act. That's the kind of attention that can actually move culture. And that attention is incredibly expensive. So the question you need to ask yourself is this: how do we make someone stop and give? Maybe that's an ugly ad. Maybe it's a completely deranged TikTok. Maybe it's a 10-foot ball of human hair rolling through Manhattan. Or maybe it's just an idea that's different enough from everything else in someone else's feed, and their brain goes, wait, what the hell is that? Because I don't think the future of advertising is necessarily less beautiful. I think it's less predictable. And when everyone can make beautiful ads, being different makes the quote-unquote beautiful part. But hey, what do I know, right? I'm just someone who loves a good ad. Anyway, see you next time.